Hello students, welcome back to the economics class of plus 1 standard as we were working with lesson number 10, rural development. In this chapter you have already learned about the concept of rural development, key issues in rural development, rural credit in India, need for credit by farmers, sources of rural credit in India, critical appraisal of rural banking, agriculture marketing, its meaning, defects of agriculture marketing in India, government measures for improving agriculture marketing. So today our topic is diversification of agriculture in India, under which we will discuss about the meaning, significance, agriculture diversification in India, and next topic we will discuss organic farming, meaning of organic farming and benefits of organic farming. So let us start with the topic diversification. Students, diversification means when the farmers shifting from subsistence farming to the commercial farming. Subsistence farming means when the farmers grow the crops only for their own consumption in order to fulfill their basic needs. But under the commercial farming they grow the crops for the purpose of selling in the market so that they can earn the profit. So in agriculture context, diversification can be regarded as the reallocation of some of a farm's productive resources such as land, capital, farm equipment and labor to other products, and particularly in richer countries to non-farm activities such as restaurants and shops are there. In India also there are non-farming activities like dairy farming is there, animal husbandry is there, fisheries are there, cottage industries are there. Agriculture diversification is one of the essential components of economic growth because these non-farming activities helps the farmers in case when there is unfavorable monsoon. Due to these unfavorable monsoon, all these ruin the crops also. So non-diversification or non-farming activities helps the farmers in such cases. It is a stage where the traditional agriculture is transformed into a dynamic and commercial sector by shifting the traditional agriculture product mix to high standard products that has a high potential in stimulating production rate also. Here the agriculture diversification is supported by a change in technology or consumer demand. Change in technology means there is a use of tractors also there in case of plowing in, and at the harvesting time also there is a use of combines and threshers are there, or the consumer demand like which things are more demanded by the consumer, and it depends upon the consumer taste. Accordingly diversification is there, and trade also there under the government policies like different kinds of taxes implementation is there, and provision of the seeds and fertilizers to the farmers at a subsidized rates. These are comes under the government policy, and by the transportation, irrigation and other infrastructure development. Key terms. First of all, diversification, horticulture, arid areas, kharif crops, subsistence farming and commercial farming. Diversification. Diversification, as we have already discussed, that is shift from the subsistence farming to the commercial farming. Firstly, farmers grow the crops for their own consumption in order to fulfill their basic needs, but now the farmers grow the crops in order to get the profit by selling the crops in the market. Horticulture means that crops like fruits are there, vegetable crops are there, flowers are there. Arid area means where the cultivation only depends upon the favorable monsoon, where there is no irrigation facilities or the lack of irrigation facilities are there. Kharif crops which are produced during the rainy season. There are different types of kharif crops in Punjab like maize, cotton, rice, sugarcane, pulses, bajra, peas, jowar, vegetables such as gourd is there, onions are there, and chilies are there. Rabi crops of Punjab, that is grams are there, barley, wheat, fodder crops, potatoes, oil seeds, and winter vegetables are there. Subsistence farming. Subsistence farming means farming for basic needs only, like food, clothes, and shelter. Subsistence farming occurs when farmers grow food crops to meet the needs of themselves and their families only. There is low surplus or no surplus also, or little bit surplus of crops with them. In subsistence agriculture, farm output is targeted to survival and is mostly for the local requirements with little or no surplus. Commercial farming. Commercial agriculture is a large scale production of crops for sale in the market and intended for the widespread distribution to wholesalers or retail outlets. In commercial farming, crops like wheat is there, maize, tea, coffee, sugarcane, cashew, rubber, banana, cotton, all these are harvested and sold in the world market. And these commercial agriculture crops helps the farmer to earn the profit also. Diversification of agriculture in India. There are two aspects of diversification of agriculture. First one is diversification of crops, like rice farming is there, maize farming, tea farming is there. Second aspect relate to the diversification of productive activity. Diversification means diversification of crops, under which diversification means shift from subsistence farming to the commercial farming. Like cotton farming is there, tobacco farming. Tobacco is commercially farmed in the semi-arid areas. Wheat farming is there, rice farming, maize farming is there, tea farming, coffee farming, beef and milk farming. These are the diversification of crops. Under the diversification of crops, it implies production of a variety of crops rather than one specialized crop. Like mixed cropping is there, that is in America 3 sisters are there, like maize, beans and cucurbits. Diversification of crops implies a shift from single cropping system to multi-cropping system. One example for multi-cropping is the tomatoes plus onions plus marigold. Marigolds repel some tomatoes pests. Under the diversification of crops, diversification would mean choice of cropping pattern in accordance with the relative price structure in the market. Diversification would minimize the market risk arising due to the price fluctuations also. Under the diversification of productive activity, the second aspect of the diversification of agriculture that relates to the diversification of productive activities. This implies a shift from crop farming to the non-farm activities, like in order to earn the more income, like animal husbandry is there, horticulture is there, fisheries are there, and all these providing the alternative revenues of subsistence livelihood. Non-farm areas of employment for the rural population, like animal husbandry is there. Under the animal husbandry, that is also known as livestock farming, there is a poultry, cattle and goat or sheep are important components of livestock farming in India. Under the horticulture, there is different crops like fruits, vegetables and flowers. Other non-farm activities like fisheries are there, cottage and household industry, restaurants are there, shops, small cottage industries, weavers, artisans are there. For the rural people, diversification or focusing on the associate activities, that is important, as it gives them an opportunity to earn extra income and overcome the poverty. Like you can see the different pictures are here. There are different kinds of work it is there that are, all these are the examples of known farm activities, and these activities helps the farmers to earn extra income when there is any kind of unfavorable monsoon. It can overcome the poverty of the farmers. Significance of diversification. Diversification of agriculture necessary for the rural development in India, because there is a greater risk in depending exclusively on the agriculture for livelihood options to the rural people. Agriculture in India is a seasonal occupation. Moreover, in agriculture there is a few months are there, work is there, and rest the farmers are free, and in that free time they can do the non-farm activities which are helpful to earn the profits and to overcome the poverty of the farmers also. During the off season it becomes difficult to find employment, so therefore diversification of productive activity becomes essential to provide alternative employment opportunities for the rural people, as there is a heavy pressure of population on land, and there is an urgent need to find alternative employment opportunities in other sectors, that is in the non-farm sectors like fisheries, dairy farming, sheep rearing, animal husbandry, artisans, weavers, cottage industries, carpeting is there. Now we will discuss the benefits of diversification of rural people. Diversification enables the rural people to earn higher levels of income, because non-farm activities like weaving is there, carpeting is there, and cottage industry work is there. All these things are in a greater demand in the markets, even abroad also, and it is helpful for the farmers to earn more. Diversification provides supplementary gainful employment also, as weavers, carpenters, and like this one. Diversification enables rural people to overcome poverty and uncertainty. Poverty means when there is a lesser growth of the crops are there, in that case the farmers can, if the farmers are employed in the non-productive activities like artisans, weavers, poultry, dairy farming, they earn income from these sectors also. And uncertainty means when there is a floods conditions are there, drought conditions are there that can harm the crops. In that case this income can be helpful to the farmers to overcome the poverty. Agriculture diversification in India. First of all, horticulture. As you know that the crops like flowers are there, vegetables are there, fruits are there, that is comes under the horticulture sector, which includes a variety of crops such as fruits, vegetables, spices, plantation crops, and floriculture, medicinal plants like tulsi, neem is there, is nowadays recognized as an important sector for the crop diversification and value addition in agriculture. For example, fruits are receiving attention increasingly. India accounts for the 10% of the world production of fruit crops like mangoes, bananas, coconut. India was the second largest producer of both fruits and vegetables in the world. India occupies first position in the production of the cauliflower, second in onion, and third in cabbage. Since 1991, investment in horticulture has proved to be highly productive, and this sector has emerged as a sustainable livelihood option. It has been termed as golden revolution. It has generate the employment also, and economic conditions of many farmers engaged in horticulture has improved significantly. Flowers harvesting, nursery maintenance, hybrid seed production, and tissue culture propagation of fruits and flowers, and food processing are highly productive employment option for rural women. This sector alone provides employment to about 19% of the total labor force, and it is helpful for the economic growth also, and contribution in the GDP also it is increased with this sector. Livestock sector. India is quite rich in livestock resources. India accounts for 57% of the world's buffalo population and 16% of the cattle population. India ranks first in respect of cattle and buffalo population, third in sheep, and second in goat population in the world. Poultry accounts for the largest share with 42% of the total livestock in India. Livestock production provides increased stability in income and food security. Livestock contributes to the food baskets in the form of milk, eggs and meat. Livestock also provides transport like tonga is there, bullock cart, and fuel for the family like cow dung is there. In India, the farming community uses mixed crop livestock farming system. The livestock sector alone provides employment to over 70 million rural people consisting of small and marginal farmers and landless laborers. Livestock contributes 29.7% to GDP from agriculture and allied activities and over 4% to the total GDP. In the livestock sector, the success in the area of dairying is well known. Dairying is an important source of livelihood to a large proportion of landless laborers and small marginal farmers. Milk production has been risen from more than 5 times since 1950 till 51. It has increased from 17 million tons in 1950 till 51 to 132.43 million tons in 2012 till 13. It's a remarkable increment. The per capita availability of milk has increased from 112 per gram per day in 1968 till 69 to 295 grams in 2012 till 13. And this can largely be attributed to the successful implement of Operation Flood from 1966 onwards. Under this system, farmers pool their milk production according to different grades and is processed. Then it is marketed to the urban centers through cooperative societies, and Amul milk is the best example for such cooperative. Meat, eggs, wool and other products are also becoming important productive sectors for the rural population. Though our livestock sector is quite impressive in terms of its size, but its productivity is quite low when compared with other countries. It requires improved technology and promotion of quality breeds of animals to raise productivity level. In this context, small and marginal farmers and landless laborers need to be provided with improved veterinary care and credit facilities. Fisheries. Fisheries sector in India has been recognized as an important income and employment generator. Also, this is an important source of livelihood for a large sector of economically backward population of the country, particularly in the coastal areas like Gujarat, Maharashtra, Goa, Karnataka, Kerala, Tamil Nadu, Andhra Pradesh, Odisha, West Bengal and 2 union territories like Daman and Diu and Puducherry. India has the third largest production of fish and the second largest producer of inland fish in the world. The total production of fish, that is from marine and inland also, has increased from 0.7 million tons in 1950 till 51. It is increased to 2.4 million tons in 1980 till 81 and then to 3.8 million tons in 1990 till 91 and finally 9.04 million tons in 2012 till 13. about 57% of the total fish production that is contributed by the inland sources only, and the remaining 43% comes from the marine sector, that is sea and oceans. Today, total fish production in India account for 1% of the country's GDP, and 5.3% of the GDP from agriculture sector is there. The state of Kerala, Gujarat, Maharashtra and Tamil Nadu, these are the major producers of marine products. Marine products is a source of livelihood to over 14 million persons. Marine products has been one of the major contributor of foreign exchange earnings through export of fish. Need for diversification. First of all, risk aversion. If the farmers are engaged in the cultivation of few subsistence crops for domestic consumption only, or the kharif crops, like crops which are produced during the rainy season, and that is more susceptible to crop failure and loss in income. If the farmers take part in non-farming activities like weaving is there, carpeting is there, small cottage industries are there, then that would also create the risk of lower income and poverty, particularly in the arid and the semi-arid areas. Creation of sustainable livelihood. A sustainable livelihood depends not only on the present work and income opportunity, but also upon the gradual expansion of future employment and income opportunities. These future opportunities are expanded only through diversification process, means from subsistence level to the commercial level of the crops, that is farmers have to grow those crops like at a bigger scale, like wheat, rice, cashew nuts, so that they can sell these crops in the market and can increase their profit, and also engage themselves in the non-farm activities like cottage industries are there, weaving is there, carpeting is there, like this one. Next topic is organic farming. Students, organic farming is a farming that involves growing and nurturing the crops without use of any fertilizers, chemical fertilizer and pesticides. There is a use of the manure. It relies on the ecologically balanced agriculture principles like crop rotation is there, use of green manure, organic waste, biological pest control, mineral and rock additives. Biological pest control, that is the release of the parasitic wasps to control aphids. Aphids are a pest of plants and cause huge damage to plants as they remove nutrients from the plants. The principal method of organic farming includes, that is first of all crop rotation. With the crop rotation, particular nutrients are replenished, means restored, and it depending on the crops that are planted. For example, simple rotation between heavy nitrogen using plants, that is corn, and nitrogen depositing plants like soybean can help in maintaining a healthy balance of nutrients in the soil. Green manures and compost, biological pest control and mechanical cultivation. These are the principal methods of organic farming. The British botanist Sir Albert Howard is often referred to as the father of modern organic agriculture because he was the first to apply modern scientific knowledge and methods to traditional agriculture. The Green Revolution under the organic farming, which began in mid-1960s, was brought by the use of chemical fertilizers and pesticides. But with the passage of time, three major problems have been identified with the increasing use of fertilizers. First one was the environmental cost of increasing fertilizers use is proving dangerous, because with this, first one is soil is degraded and water pollution is also there. Heavy water is there. Soil is getting degraded at a faster rate, and second is the effectiveness of the use of fertilizers is on decline, which means that increasing use of fertilizers to get the same level of output means the crop production with the use of fertilizer, it is going down and down, and in order to get the more output from the fields, we have to use more and more fertilizers in the coming years. Heavy imports of fertilizers also impose a huge burden on our balance of trade due to their cost. So due to all these reasons, organic farming is required. Organic farming, key terms. First of all, organic farming is a system of farming that relies upon the use of organic inputs for cultivation. Organic inputs like animal matters and compost. Compost means a mixture of various decaying organic substances like dead leaves are there or manure used for fertilizing soil. Next one is oil seeds. Oil seeds like groundnut, castor, mustard oil, mustard and sesame are there. Spices like ginger, turmeric, chilies and cumin. Plantation crops means like tea, coffee, cardamom. Features of organic farming. Organic farming is a sustainable farming system which maintains long-term fertility of land and soil through the use of non-farm resources. Agrochemical based on high input agriculture is not sustainable for long time due to gradual decline of factor productivity like land, degradation of soil and heavy water is there. And the use of synthetic material like fertilizers are there, pesticides are there, and means chemical reactions, that is avoided. Animal dung, crop residue, green manure, biofertilizers and biosolids from agro industries and food processing waste are the major sources of the nutrients for the organic farming. Under the organic farming, it focuses on ecological principles as the basis for crop production. Organic farming is an indication of purity and careful handling also. And moreover, organic farming, it is eco-friendly also, and there is no degradation of the soil and no problem of heavy water is there. Organic farming, the scope of sustainable development. Organic farming is a system of farming that relies upon the use of organic inputs for cultivation, like use of green manure. Organic inputs basically includes animal waste from meat, processing and compost, means a mixture of various decaying organic substances like dead leaves or manure, use of fertilizing soil. Organic farming discards the use of chemical inputs. Chemical inputs like chemical fertilizers are there, insecticides are there, pesticides are there. Organic farming is a system of farming that focuses on maintaining soil health rather than plant health, so that farming becomes a long period sustainable process along with an eco-friendly environment. Crops which are cultivated under the organic farming method, these are cereals are there, under which wheat, paddy, jowar, bajra and maize is there. Pulses like pigeon pea, chickpea, green gram, black gram, chana, all these. Under the oil seeds there is groundnut, castor, mustard and sesame. Commodities like cotton, sugarcane, sugar candy like jaggery or gur is there. Spices like ginger, turmeric, chilies, cumin. Plantation of crops, tea, coffee, cardamom. Fruits, banana, custard apple and papaya. Vegetables, tomato, brinjal, cucurbits, cole crops, leafy vegetables like spinach is there. Benefits of organic farming. Inexpensive technology for the small and marginal farmers. Farmers can reduce their production cost because they do not need to buy expensive chemicals like fertilizers, pesticides and high yielding variety seeds, and all these help to sustain soil fertility. And when the farmers will use the green manure and say no to the HYV seeds and pesticides and fertilizers and chemicals, with this what happen, the soil fertility remains, sustainability is there, and there is no heavy water problems are there. Healthy food is there with more nutrients, and which in turn give the healthy labor and healthy farmers also. In the long run, organic farming saves energy. Organic agriculture generally creates less soil and water pollution and lower greenhouse gas emissions like carbon dioxide gas and methane gas is there, and is more energy efficient also, and protect the environment, so environment friendly also organic farming is. Organic farming can slow down the global warming like melting of the glaciers are there and the heat problems are there. It generates the higher income opportunities to the farmers because as the demand for the organic products like pulses, rice, wheat is on rise and generate more income exports, and it also generate the employment opportunities as it requires more labor input than chemical farming. Discards the use of non-renewable sources like petroleum. So hope students you have understood the topic of diversification and organic farming. Now it's time to note down the homework. Our first question is define the following terms with examples: diversification, horticulture, arid areas, kharif crops, subsistence farming, commercial farming. Our second question is why is agriculture diversification essential for sustainable livelihoods? Third question is bring out the importance of animal husbandry, fisheries and horticulture as a source of diversification. Question number 4 is what is organic farming and how does it promote sustainable development? Question number 5 is what are the benefits of organic farming? And students, please go through the links on the YouTube also for more clarity, and hope you all will complete your notes in your fair copy for better learning. Thank you for listening.